Hi there, my name is Giovanna Bernal. I'm a Panama attorney with more than 15 years of experience. Today, I will share with you what are the 5 things you should know before buying a property in Panama. First, I recommend you to find a real estate agent. You can find a real estate agent at Acovir, or you can find a real estate agent through a referral from someone. That is very important because if you are not familiar with Panama, or if you haven't been here, you haven't lived here, the real estate agent will guide you, will show you neighborhoods, will show you places, and will give you very good advice on the situation of the real estate market nowadays, and will give you really good deals that I believe will be very useful, especially if you don't know or are not familiar with the real estate market in Panama. The second thing I recommend you is to decide whether you want to put your property on your own name, on the name of a Panama corporation, or in the name of a private foundation. I tell you this now because some of my clients, they buy properties on their own name, and then later they want to transfer them on a Panama corporation or on a name on the private foundation, and there are taxes to be paid after that. But if you pay in advance the private foundation or the Panama corporation, and you tell the seller that you would like to put the property on the name of a corporation or a foundation, then automatically will own the property and you won't have to transfer that later on. So that will be much more convenient. You have to decide whether you want to put the property on a Panama corporation. That would be very useful, especially if you want to do the buying of the property for investment purposes, because later you can sell the shares and the value, the registry value on the property will remain. But if you sell the property to a third party, to the buyer, and not the shares, the registry value of the property will increase. So that is something to take into account, because if the registry value of the property increases, you'll end up paying more property taxes. The other option is to put the property in the name of the Panama Foundation, and it's very recommended in case you want to plan in advance who are going to be your beneficiaries, because in the document called regulations, you can appoint your beneficiaries and they can receive the benefits on the property without going to probation. Another advantage is that the property will be protected from third parties because the owner is a different person from yourself. The same applies if you put the property in the name of a Panama corporation. The third tip is financing. Nowadays, there are banks, local banks, that are giving mortgage to foreigners, to non-residents, or to expats that want to relocate in Panama. The rates are very competitive, and they are requested in general 30% in advantage of down payment, and they will finance the rest of it. The fourth tip is to find an attorney. That is very important. Before, a lawyer can check the property on the public registry, can also make sure that the property is really on the name of the seller, that the property has no liens or encumbrances or restrictions, and also it will make sure that there is nothing wrong on the property before signing any reservation agreement or any promissory agreement. Besides that, a lawyer will also help you and guide you reviewing or drafting a reservation agreement or the promissory agreement. That is very important, and I cannot stop recommending you that, because that will avoid you from having trouble in the future. And the last tip is property tax. Before you buy a property, make sure you know and you're sure how much you have to pay on taxes. I tell you this because we have different type of property taxes, and that will depend on the year the property was constructed, whether it is a condo or is a house or whether it's new. Also, you have to know if you're gonna use that property for your own use, if you're gonna live there as your main property, or if you want it as a second home in Panama, or is it gonna be your second property. That will also affect the rate on the tax property. I'm going to explain the rates on property taxes in another video. That will take me a while, so I will do that in another video, so keep tuned. And what I can say is that you should check what are property taxes first. Because, for example, if you buy a condo and it was registered before 2019, you have to pay probably 1% on the value of the land. And a lot of people don't know this. They think because somebody told them that the property had an exemption, was exonerated for 20 years, and they think that they don't have to pay anything, but then they realize when they check on the tax authority or revenue office, DGI, that the property has indeed taxes on the value of the land. So this is very important to know. The property has to be in good standing when the sale is done, but then after that, and you become the owner, you have to be responsible of paying those taxes. So you have to know how much it's gonna be depending on the value of the land, if it's a condo, or if it's a land or a house. So that will depend a lot. And if you need assistance on all what that I have said, please feel free to contact me. This is it. Please follow us on social media, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and if you want to receive more information, you're thinking about buying a property and need some help and guidance, please click the link below. Thanks.